the framework idea came from other districts. So we're not the first district to do a mental health framework. Burnaby had shared theirs at an SELBC meeting, a number of years ago. And, a number of us in different districts thought, wouldn't it be great if we had frameworks, so we had something to guide our work in mental health, to really talk about what is the purpose of our work in schools regarding mental health. Because the big push at that time was getting more counseling time, getting more interventions in schools. And for us, it was that doesn't feel like the right role for us in schools. Education dollars being spent towards treating mental health just doesn't sit right with me. That's not what we're trained to do. We're educators. We're trained to educate. So at the same time, the Ministry of Education was well aware of how well schools are situated to promote mental health and to address some of the trends that we were seeing in society. The opioid crisis had just, come on. People were well aware of, what was happening in society, and schools just seemed like a natural fit to help people educate themselves around mental health. So the provincial government had just launched the Pathway to Hope strategy and the mental health strategy in schools. And at the conference to launch the mental health strategies in schools, our school district was fortunate to sit with Vancouver Public Health. And as we sat together and talked about what our roles were around mental health, what we realized is that the role of public health and schools aligns so perfectly in terms of what we do to promote and prevent mental health in schools and in society. And as we talked, and we realized that we had misunderstandings about what each other did and what we meant by social emotional learning and what we meant by trauma-informed practice was different than what public health understood those things to be. And as we talked, we kind of got excited and said, well, wouldn't it be great if we could get everyone together in a room and talk about what these things are, have a way to create common language and talk about, the way forward. And that's where this idea of the framework was kind of hatched, along with a symposium that we decided to use our grant money from that Early Action Initiative Fund to create a symposium to bring people together. And with Vancouver Coastal Health Public Health, we designed the symposium together. It really was a true partnership of the two agencies. And that's how it came about. So we got the voices of some of our students through a panel. We brought in our community partners, the Child and Youth Mental Health, North Shore Restorative Justice, North Shore Multicultural Society. We brought in parents, we brought in teachers and administrators, and we all sat down, we listened to the kids, we dug into data, and then we dreamed about the future. And it's that data that we collected from the symposium, along with our EDI data, our MDI data, our adolescent health survey from McCreary, and the student learning survey, and sat and dug through them, looked for trends, and all of that information was the basis for this for the framework.